So, hi all. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on the time of the day you are observing me. So, we are catching up today to talk about the changes in SCADA systems in the last 10 to 15 years in the oil and gas space. I've been getting a couple of requests in the oil and gas space to talk about the SCADA systems, so I'm talking about it. Uh, I like to keep things succinct, to the point, clear. Succinct, to the point, and clear. So I'm Analyst Ankur from House of Analyst Ankur. Um, we'll quickly talk about in the next 5 to 7 minutes about what changes have come in the SCADA systems. I will not talk today from a technical standpoint or from a use case standpoint because in the last 10 to 15 years, digital twins have been significantly integrated in the system, and the old on-prem SCADA systems have been moved to cloud and such things. But we would be talking from a business angle as to what things have changed, and then we would talk to certain case studies. So this data, firstly, is not made by me. This is coming from a reputed journal. I will have the link shared with all of you in the comment section. I have gone through the complete report and then got certain insights for all of us to delve deeper into it. So, over the last 10 to 15 years, the market for oil and gas SCADA systems has jumped significantly. It was $1.39 billion in 2010. Please note that this is only for oil and gas space, not the complete industrial setup for SCADA. 2026, this number has jumped to close to 5 billion US dollars. This is a significant jump, quite significant, but it is supported by multiple factors. Obviously, when we are talking about uh, implementation of any technology, SCADA is an old technology. It is not something which has come in the last 10 to 15 years. It is much older. But this jump is quite significant because the quantum of data that has been uh, generated and then traveled and then leveraged. Data is first generated, then it travels through certain data pipelines, data lakes, and finally it is leveraged in form of certain dashboards. All of it has significantly risen. If we see the table on the left shows the data, the numbers have grown 3x, 1.39 to 4.52. If we see on the right, 2010s, the number was 10 to 15 gigabytes per day. This is the data generated by oil platform. In 2010s, this is 1 to 2 terabytes per day. Significant rise, very significant. Another thing which I was talking about, why in the last 10 to 15 years there's a 3x jump is because of the rising cloud adoption or cloudized SCADA. Always this debate keeps coming up as to should it be on cloud? Should it be on premise? Should it be hybrid? I remember when I was uh, maybe sometime last year when I was in the analyst day at TCS, I was having this discussion as to what, and the discussion was quite interesting. It was what kind of use cases should go on cloud versus what kind of use cases can stay on prem. No one wants 100% data to be moved to the cloud. And I haven't got that picture here. There's an interesting snapshot which was talking about how from 2018, there's a 35% YOY CAGR in the cybersecurity space, specifically focused on the SCADA systems. So this is quite interesting to see that if you move a significant chunk of your operations, I mean the digital operations, from on-prem to cloud, there's obviously significant chance of getting hacked. And if I remember correctly, Siemens did have a report on it as to 8 of the 10 organizations had faced some kind of security concerns in the last 6 years. I will find that report as well for you and send it to you. That's a very interesting aspect to cover. Let me see if my screen is changing. Yeah. The next thing. The next thing is these changes in the SCADA systems would have led to some kind of productivity gain, some kind of cost savings, some kind of benefits. So let me zoom in a bit. So we need to understand the ONG space. I believe my viewers would be significantly aware of what is upstream, downstream, and midstream. Still, if anybody is unaware, I would quickly help you understand. Upstream is where the production happens, where uh, there's a operator. Uh, there's a operator that's stationed, and the oil is being um, extracted. Oil exploration happens and then production happens. That's upstream. Midstream is once that oil has been explored and extracted, then it travels through pipelines. So if you see here, we are talking about American pipeline operator. Here we are talking about just North Sea operator. They are operating in the sea to extract the oil. Then pipeline operator is there to travel the oil, to transport the oil. And finally, we have the downstream where the oil gets refined. If you see, it would be refining. Yeah, refining. So if we see here in the upstream case study, we have significant North Sea operators stated that their typical response time to production difficulties dropped from 2 hours to just 15 minutes, thanks to real-time well monitoring. So there's a well through which the exploration happens and then the production happens. Uh, and that production difficulty, the response time has decreased from 2 hours to just 15 minutes. See, we need to understand whenever the response time is lower, there's a lot of cost saving. And this cost saving is here attributed to SCADA by this North Sea operator. Lower the response time, the better, both in B2B and B2C cases. The second thing is the downstream. If we see here, SCADA driven process optimization was recently implemented in major US refinery. So we have come to refining. We will actually wait this. We will see case study 3 first, midstream. An innovative SCADA based leak detection system was implemented by a large North American pipeline operator. So I mentioned there's a pipeline operations that's happening. Basically, once the oil is explored and extracted from the well, then it travels long distances by a large North American pipeline operator, as evidenced by case study of the company that showed an average reduction in leak detection. Again, this is uh, how fast are you able to detect it? So detection is happening. Earlier it was happening in an hour. Now it is happening only in 3 minutes. We need to understand when it was happening in an hour. So for an hour, the whole oil was getting leaked. It was a revenue leak for the company, and it was an environmental damage as well. So that is also getting saved. Now we will come to case study to downstream. Downstream is when the oil has come in to the refinery, and the different processes would happen to refine the oil, process the oil. So SCADA driven process optimization was recently implemented, and results revealed a 2.8% reduction in energy consumption. So basically, at the refinery, as the energy consumption is a major factor, right? It is getting reduced, and 3.5% increase in the throughput. So, and I believe we also have a numerical case here, assuming an average refining margin of $10 per barrel and an energy cost of $4, the refinery processing 250,000 barrels per day. So this is saving close to 10 million in energy cost and an additional benefit in the throughput. I can actually deep dive into case two maybe sometime later, because today we are short of time. I had mentioned we would be a 5 to 10 minutes discussion here. So there have been significant changes in the SCADA system, but I would like to just summarize by taking it. The 3x growth in the market is largely because there's a significant more amount of data that's getting churned, that's getting generated, and that needs to be analyzed. Also, the question as to which use cases should be on cloud versus which use cases should sit on-prem is something that sits in the head of the both the providers and the enterprises. And rising cloud adoption is a testimony to the fact that the enterprises, to certain extent, want certain use cases to be productized, to be cloudized. I will talk about it. I will bring a two by two in which certain use cases which are moving to cloud versus those which are not moving to cloud will be covered. Till then, stay tuned and let me know what did you like about it. I will put the link of my website in the comment section. Do go to my website, and have also covered couple of enterprises from their digital transformation initiatives and what is their current state. These reports would definitely be helpful to both the providers and the enterprises, more to the providers, in terms of understanding what are the enterprise use cases that enterprises are targeting basis their business priorities. I had covered in another video of mine. I will put that link as well. Do check out those videos to understand how I can help you, how my reports can help you. And if any of the thing interests you, here's my number 98108 50910. Feel free to reach out to me on my cell and we can have a detailed discussion on um, how those reports can be utilized by you, can be consumed by you, and if there's any custom research effort that needs my help. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.